Hey Nathan, it's Wednesday, July 23rd. Your video covering misconceptions about the moon was really informative, and so to continue with Moon Week, I'm gonna do a Why Is It Wednesday on why is it our moon? For the length of humanity, the moon has played a significant role in our culture, stories, religions, and symbolism. The moon hasn't always been around, although the Earth wasn't solo for long after its formation. The Earth is aged at about 4.54 billion years old, with the moon joining us around 4.5 billion years ago. But how did we acquire our moon? It didn't just suddenly appear in our orbit. Well, finding that out hasn't really been very easy for scientists. They can't just really go read about it in a history book. They instead have to look at clues in the present that may lead us to answers in the past. Many hypotheses have come about trying to explain the origin of our moon, with one in particular being the most popular. One hypothesis is that we captured the moon in our orbit, that basically a large space rock came a little too close to our young Earth and bam! Now it's stuck in our orbit in perpetuity. Well, maybe. The thing is, when stuff like that gets close to Earth, we don't necessarily catch it in our orbit. Our gravitational pull either brings the object in for a collision or swings it around to change its trajectory. But maybe back in Earth's early days it would have had a larger atmosphere that would have slowed the moon down enough to catch it in orbit. Maybe. The fission hypothesis proposes that the early Earth, while spinning very quickly, released a large mass of land that bam! Became the moon. Possible. Another hypothesis called accretion provides that the Earth and moon formed bam! Simultaneously, but neither of these theories explains the angular momentum of the Earth and moon together. The most likely hypothesis is the giant impact hypothesis. Back in our early solar system, everything was really chaotic. It's been assumed that a Mars-sized protoplanet named Theia collided with us near the end of our formation. Theia would have been mostly absorbed by the Earth, but the collision would have blasted a huge chunk of Earth-Theia debris into orbit. We think that the pieces were drawn together to form one object. This debris could have taken anywhere from a month to a century to coalesce, and bam! We have our moon! So this hypothesis is the most popular to date. However, that does not mean that it's right. It just means that it's the best one we've come up with so far, given studying samples of the moon and the Earth, and understanding the primitive Earth and the physics of the moon's orbit. Thankfully, scientists are mostly open to well-backed suggestions and new hypotheses, so if a better one comes around, we will be keen to accept it. It's hard to say for sure because, like I said, we can't necessarily go back in time and watch it happen, but as our knowledge of the universe increases, our understanding of how things came to be also improves. Nathan, I'm excited to see what's in store for us on Friday. So I googled why is the moon blank to see what questions people ask the most about the moon, and I'm going to attempt to answer 3 of the most popular ones. The first query is, why is the moon red? During an eclipse of the moon, it doesn't completely disappear because the Earth's atmosphere refracts some sunlight onto the moon. It appears red because red wavelengths are longer and they don't scatter as easily as other wavelengths of light. Why is it important? Well, that question is kind of opinion-based, but the moon's presence has had quite an effect on the Earth since we gained it. It gives us a kind of record book of what Earth was like in its first billion years, and it greatly affects our oceans and crust. It even keeps the Earth on its axis a little more steadily. It provides light at night, which allows some animals to operate or even spend all of their waking hours. And these are only a handful of effects that the moon has on us, so yeah, I'd say it's pretty important. Why is it bright? Because it reflects the sun's light, which is pretty bright itself. If you guys have any comments or questions about the moon, join us in the comments below, and please like and share and subscribe.